So this video is going to be the second video in the introductory series to quarterly theory, and I will be discussing sequential SMT or SSMT. Okay, and what this is, it is our indication or signal that price is preparing to reverse. So once you see sequential SMT, you'll be looking for a reversal in the opposite direction. Okay? What it looks like is something like this. I'm assuming that everybody knows what SMT is, but I will quickly cover it now. So here we have asset 1 and we have asset 2, which is a correlating pair. Okay, and we will have our first quarter, and then we have our second quarter, and we have a divergence between the lows, but the lows of the quarters. Okay, and this is sequential SMT. Hopefully this does make sense for you. The reason that your classic fair value gap, for example, works is because on the lower time frame there would be an SMT or some sort of cracking correlation. So what that may look like is this, where we have price trading into a fair value gap. Okay, this is our fair value gap. If we zoomed in on the reversal within the fair value gap, we would see something along the lines of this, where we have a sequential SMT. And then this is oftentimes why your fair value gap is going to work. Now there are other cracks and correlations that I'm yet to discuss. This is one of the most typical examples. So this is something that you should be looking for. I really hope this makes sense for you and it's starting to click. And it's also why your regular SMTs may not work. And that's because they are not sequential. Okay? So if you're new to quarterly theory and you're having difficulties with using the right SMT, this should really clear a lot of the noise up for you. One more thing I want to cover is something called the magneto effect. Okay, and the magneto effect is using SMT. Okay, so we may have an SMT, and we trade lower, and we form another SMT. So it will look something like this. And then this first SMT will act as your drawn liquidity, because we understand that unsymmetrical highs or lows hold a lot of liquidity. So this means there is a lot of liquidity resting above these highs. So when we see an SMT opposing it, we can look to target the first SMT. Now, whether this SMT will end up leading to this SMT being taken out is something else, which you'll learn in future videos. But in general, this is what we can expect. When this does not work is when this is on the higher time frame and this is on the lower time frame. This would not work because we know, and we've been taught from the very beginning, that the higher time frame trumps the lower time frame. So this would need to be on the higher time frame. Okay. We could also have something that looks like this. We would expect this to work. Okay. This is the magneto effect, where SMT1 creates SMT2, leading SMT2 to target SMT1 as its draw liquidity. So I hope this also made sense and it's starting to click.